Welcome back once again. This video should be a short one, hopefully, is because of a bit of a correction that I need to make from one of the previous videos, and rather than delete the video, I thought I'd make this additional one to correct myself. And that was when I was making mention can't talk, of having the MFT style of top with the cross-cutting capability that I'm talking about. And I was saying that if we do this well, we'll be able to create a top that's flexible and expandable enough for us to cut full width sheets or full sheets across the width. So 1220 or 1200 for most panels, but or many panels, but sometimes we still get the old 4 foot or the 1220 wide ones. So anyway, long story short, I've got these rails, and I've got two of them that are 1400. They were to cut a full length, so that was 2.8. Oh, I've got a croaky voice as well. Oh, it was. But they were joined together so to create the capability of cutting a full length sheet. That's 2.8. I would have been better off getting the 3 metre rail because of the joining and lipping issues that do exist. So I said, what we could do to cut a full width panel is to get a longer rail, because these ones at 1400 don't have enough rail on the lead in and the outfeed side of it to support the track saw itself. At 1400 you've only got that 100mm either end, which is certainly not enough. And I says, what you could do is to get the 3 metre one, cut it down to the desired length at a really high cost, but considering it doesn't need hinges or any other fancy bits, you not only get the rail, but you've got the offcut of the rail to be used in other situations, which do exist. You just stick one of these 90-degree accessories on it, and then you can use it for cutting down small sections of rail and of panel using that rail. That's really handy, and it's something that I haven't got yet because I was actually contemplating getting another one of these for that very purpose. Anyway, long story short, I went inside and I was doing some SketchUp drawings and what have you that I wanted to add for explanation of this, and I thought, hang on, what is the price of one of those rails? And it turns out in New Zealand dollars to be, in this case, just over $300. And I thought, yeah, it's expensive, but in considering that we haven't, as I said, we haven't got the hinge type set up, probably a sacrifice worth making because we get that extra offcut as well. Anyway, and I thought, hang on, what are the lengths of rail that we get? So yes, we get the shorter ones, and we get these 1400 long ones, and we get, of course, I'd forgotten, a 1.9 metre rail, which is certainly big enough for what we want for our cross-cutting purposes. And that was only $190, so we're saving $120 yippee off to the shop to buy one of those rails, which I probably will anyway, the 1.9 metre ones. That means I've got the flexibility of being able to, if and when it ever became required, to cut the full width, the 1200 wide rail board, using that 1900 or 1.9 metre rail, either via the track saw system, like I'm talking about here, or by adding the 90-degree accessory onto the 1.9 metre rail, and then I can just set it up and butt it up against the panel. Oh, croaky voice again. So I thought, I can save money. And that was the correction or the clarification. Don't go buying the 3-metre long rail. Buy the 1.9 metre rail if you want to do what I'm saying, cross-cutting it. Track saw or with that accessory. I will likely get a 3-metre rail because there are times that I want to cut down a full length panel, and joining any rail is a bit of a pain in the anatomy, and I don't want that to be the case. But that's an expense I don't need to worry about just at the moment. One of the things is, where do you store the darn things in a small workshop? A 3-metre rail needs to be stored somewhere. So I'm thinking up along there, make a little shelf, a little rack. I can stick my 3-metre rail up there. It can collect dust for a while, but dust is nature's protector, isn't it? Says I. But it can be put up here and protected, because at the moment I'm hanging them up over there and it's not ideal. Workable, but not ideal. Up there is also not ideal if I have to get up to get at it, because it's up there. But at least it's up out of the way and being protected. So there you go. That was the clarification on the previous video. And yeah. I'm just by way of explanation, I'm going to, when I load videos, and I've got a lot of videos, I'm not going to group them into individual categories. They will be titled as such. So this will be a workshop. The title probably will be workshop MFT style top, and I might even put the date in. The reason for that is I will also do SketchUp MFT style top, possibly a date. That way you can source or locate them by the title, rather than putting an MFT style top, SketchUp, so that sequence, and MFT top workshop. I'm grouping them all under where generally I am, the workshop, SketchUp, garden or outside or whatever. Then there are other video like Dome, because I'm wanting to load a whole series of videos about a specific style of dome and some of my thoughts and opinions on that, and positive ones, of course, and other aspects like planters or car, and they all come under that general heading at the beginning of the title. But so I don't want to group them into individual groups. A, I don't think that's actually aiding you find anything, and B, I'm lazy. I don't think it's lazy at all. I think it's prudent. So that, and it could even pop a number in as well, because again, I'm starting from scratch. The YouTube channel, I've had the name for quite a while, but I've not populated it with the videos. And if you're watching this one and listening to this one, there'll be hundreds prior to, so there's no way of clarifying it for those searching. But anyway, I'm making the addition to this video to explain what I'm doing, so that perhaps I should do one to actually introduce it and explain it. And that's actually, that's a good point, isn't it? I should do that. Yeah, I will. I may also, did I say, add a number, so that there will be a reference if you want to say, oh shit, I would like to go back to look at that video. What number was it? Well, it was number 305. Well, you just look for that that one, put it in a search or something, and you probably find it easier to find. Geez, I do go on, do I not? Anyway, there we go. 1.9 metre rail. Grab one of those. A lot cheaper. You're not sacrificing a nice long rail, which would be handy to have in its full length, but additional cost. Darn it. Rightio, that's it. I am going to contemplate doing some work. It's late afternoon and I might contemplate not. Just as easy. Rightio, that's it. See you in the next video now. Bye.